Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite, or whatever the case may be. My name is Marcus, and I am the host of the Black Brazil Today YouTube channel, as well as the blackbraziltoday.com blog, where I analyze Brazil from the perspective of race. So tonight I want to cover a story that I became aware of again just a couple of days ago, if not yesterday. And I'll say it again, that's what the whole purpose of this blog is discussing race issues in Brazil, whether it might be racial identity, racial classification, might be racism. It might just have something to do with Brazil's black population, or even trying to define what constitutes black in Brazil. There's a lot of things that come with this type of these types of subjects, and it doesn't just it's not just a skin color thing. It has to do with the entire range of physical features for which people get judged as being black, right? So one of those things that I've reported over, a lot over the years is this question of hair. This question of hair texture is one of those things, again, that people will look at and judge you, according to their concepts of what constitutes black, white, whatever, Latino, or anything else. So this story came across a few days ago, and again, I'm not a fan of. I don't watch. Tell you the truth, I don't watch much TV these days. And even when I did watch TV, I remember I watched some reality shows. I don't know when they first started coming out or whatever, but I've never been a real big fan of reality shows. And when it comes to Brazil, I'm only interested in checking out something that happened on a reality show, if it's something that fits into what I'm talking about on this channel or on the blog. And in this particular case, I've spoken much about a popular Brazilian reality show on the nation's top television network, which is called Rede Global or Global TV. And Global TV has its own version of the Big Brother series, and they call it Big Brother Brazil. People just call it BBB or BBB, they call it. It's been on for 20, I don't know, let's up to like 24, 25 seasons now. But there's been other reality shows that have popped up, like on one of the other television networks in the country is Rede Record or Record TV. If you were to see it, you were to pronounce it in English. And this story that I'm covering today comes from an incident that happened on the Record TV reality show known as A Fazenda. Fazenda is something like a farm or plantation or something. So, that's what they named the show. And it has something to do with a particular participant on the program and how these women, looked at her, how they judged her hair. So today's video is called Brazil has always considered kinky curly hair to be dirty, says specialist, after reality show contestant says black participant has lice in her hair. So let's just get straight into this article today. So these are the three people that are involved in today's video. These are all three people who have appeared, who are participating in the A Fazenda 15th season on the Record TV television network. And so this girl on the right, I believe she's a singer. She may be a rapper. She's the daughter of two famous Black Brazilians. One is a musician named Dudu Nobre, and her mother's name, Adriana Bombom. She is a well-known dancer. I think she's probably an entrepreneur these days. But so I'm talking about what one of these women said to the other woman in reference to this girl, which is I think her name is Lily Nobre. Okay, so what happened here that I felt like I needed to cover today's story. Let's just talk about it. So today's story is by Mateus Ramos, and it's from the Notícia Preta website. It's one of Brazil's top Black media outlets. So Mateus Ramos covered this particular story. Let's get right into it. A specialist in cabelo crespo, That's a term that's going to come up, various times throughout this article. So just so you understand, in Portuguese, cabelo crespo means kinky curly hair, the hair that's associated with people of African descent or Black people. So the specialist in cabelo crespo, Anita Avelar, spoke exclusively with Noticia Preta about the episode that happened last Wednesday, the 25th, on the record TV reality show A Fazenda, the 15th season. In a conversation, Jenny Miranda tells Camila Simeone, these are two participants on the program, and she says so Miranda says to Simeone that another participant, again, Lily Nobody, this young lady right here, and she says Lily Nobody's hair has nits, which are lice eggs. Anita talked about the difficulties that Black women suffer with the stereotypes created about kinky curly hair. She says, kinky curly hair has always been considered dirty, not well kept, so much so that we still find it difficult to have people with these characteristics in the media as a reference for beauty, she said. Again, this is Lily Nobody. She's in the center of the attention right now. She's the daughter of musician Dudu Nobody and dancer Adriana Bombom. Definitely an attractive young lady, like her fro, right? But apparently, and I've said this for years, Brazil doesn't like the fro, doesn't like kinky curly hairs. Brazil participates in its own, anti-racist or anti-Black sentiments. That's one of the main reasons why I created the Black Brazil Today blog in the first place. So for Anita, one of the main challenges of a person who suffers some kind of prejudice is to have good self-esteem. And for the specialist, this also generates trauma affecting the person's identity. The construction of value around natural hair is something constructed over time. We increasingly have people who know how to care for it and people looking for this care. However, for cabello crespo, again, kinky curly hair, I realize that cosmetics or products can improve and better meet the expectations of this public. Again, another picture of Lily Nobody here. For Anita, who is an entrepreneur and the owner of the Empodera Anita Salon, which means Empower Anita, hair products for kinky curly hair are still limited, generating a certain difficulty for the development of the hair. Today, we find X amount of products for curly hair, but for cabello crespo, again, meaning kinky curly hair, there's still much that needs to improve, she said. In the situation, Jenny commented her observation about the young woman to Camila, saying, "I'm going to have to use a tonalizer. It made me scratch my head. Lily's hair is full of nits." Then my hair started to itch. I ran my hand through my hair. It was full of white hair, Jenny commented. Lily's team issued a note on the participants' Instagram profile repudiating the behavior of the two women and demanding a positioning from the reality show's team. Okay. So these are the two women, Camila Simeone and Jenny Miranda. They're also participants on the A Fazenda 15th season. We know the name of this. Apparently, they're saying, the word racism that without saying it. We know the name of this, but we will not quote it because the law does not allow us without a whole process being judged. We asked the A Fazenda at Record TV station and the director, Rodrigo, what is it? M. Carelli, I'm thinking it is. So Rodrigo M. Carelli, and the host to treat matters like this with the seriousness that it deserves, read the note. So this is Lily's parents, the musician Dudu Nobody on the left here, and the dancer Adriana Bombom. If I'm not mistaken, they divorced a number of years ago, but they have a few kids together. So shortly after the publication, Jenny Miranda's team also spoke out, stating that it repudiates any act of discrimination and opposing the positioning of Lily's team. So the lady who made the statement and accused Lily of having lice in her hair, they reject the interpretation coming from Lily and her team because they see it as an act of racism from a Brazil that has always denigrated kinky curly hair. Regarding the official note presented by Lily Nobody's profile, we clarify that such accusations of injury and defamation are not true. In addition, it is evident that at no time did Jenny demonstrate any kind of prejudice against Lily. She only commented with her friend Simeone about the situation she saw, read part of the official note. Now, again, when we're dealing with issues that in which people see it as racism, sometimes it's not clear cut. Sometimes people will interpret things one way and other people will interpret it another way. And Brazil is just famous for denying any possibility that racism exists. So, after decades of people complaining about how, African oriented features are seen in Brazil, it's really no secret. There's nothing to deny. But when you have a situation like this, it because it's on that fence, it's going to depend on how people see this. So Lily's team clearly sees this as as a, racist comment, whereas the girl who made the statement, like, no, there's no racism involved here. Well, I guess it would come down to, did you actually see lice in this girl's hair, or you just made that comment assuming that she probably has lice because she has cabello crespo, again, kinky curly hair. But to put this into context, we have to understand that people have made these type of comments about Black people's hair in Brazil for years. Let's just take a look at a few of the articles that I have on the side here. So this is a story from the Terra website. I think it's courtesy of the Alma Preta website, which is one of the top Black media outlets in Brazil. Get to know the history of the discrimination against cabelo crespo, again, kinky curly hair in Brazil. There are a few choice phrases in this sentence that I wanted to highlight. Like, for example, here, let's see. Is not only now that people with kinky curly hair suffer from microaggressions of a racist nature, and people often just define cabelo crespo, kinky curly hair, as being feio, meaning ugly, sujo, meaning dirty, and duro, meaning hard. So this isn't something new. It's taken Black women in Brazil years to be able to come to accept their naturally, kinky curly hair, to the point where you see tens of thousands of Black women rocking their natural hair, but it wasn't always that way. People had to ignore all the racist comments that they would hear and be brave enough to go hit the street and say, look, I love my hair the way that it is, but it hasn't always been that way. Here's another piece that says, cabello crespo, kinky curly hair is not dirty. Cleanliness and the stigma of lice. So this is something that's been associated with, cabello crespo, kinky curly hair, for years in Brazil. This isn't something new. Here's a story called Five Myths That Need to Be, you could say, overcome about cabello crespo, right? What are some of these myths? Now, here's a woman rocking her natural curly hair. First myth says kinky curly hair is hard to wash. Second myth, it's hard and it's no use trying to comb it. The third myth says kinky curly hair doesn't grow. Right? See the picture of the woman? You see she has long hair there. Fourth myth says you have to wash it every day. And the fifth myth is that cabello crespo is ugly. So again, this is something that women of African ancestry have been dealing with in Brazil for years. Look at what this myth says right here. Okay, you don't have to wash this hair every day. Don't do this because your hair is not dirty and it's not smelly and it's not ugly. So we can understand in this context why someone would interpret what that woman said as something that could have been racist against people who have this type of hair. Let me see here. Okay, so this is an article talking about the transition that a lot of Black Brazilian women make in letting the chemicals just come out of their hair. They'll cut it, what they call a big chop. They use that term in English, saying cut the hair as low as it'll go, just to get the chemicals out of your hair. And so in this article, this is what this woman is saying here. It says, since childhood, people that have curly and kinky hair are used to hearing little jokes and mean comments. Ugly, dirty, hard. Why don't you comb this hair? So again, this is something that we've heard for years. So again, why did Lily's team interpret what this woman said that way? Well, there's a history here. You go back a couple of years under the administration of then President Jair Bolsonaro. This is from July of 2021. And in front of one of his Black supporters who was in the picture, President Bolsonaro, who many people believe was a hardcore racist, he says, "Are you breeding cockroaches in that hair?" President Bolsonaro accused of racism after making a comment to a black supporter. So I'm saying he actually said this to him during a recording. You see the brother here rocking an afro, and he turns around and asks him, like, "Do you have cockroaches growing in your hair?" So we can kind of understand again why it is that somebody would interpret what was said on Afazenda as being racist, because there's a long history of this. If you come to the Black Brazil Today blog, blackbraziltoday.com blog, and you'll see just various examples of, oh, cabello crespo, kinky curly hair is ruim, it's bad, it's doodle, it's hard. And this is what I'm saying again, how you see women these days wearing this type of afro in Brazil. Just 25, 30 years ago, this would not have been possible because people were taught to be ashamed of having this type of hair. Okay. So that's why I wanted to present this story today, because Brazil itself presents its own and participates in its own form of anti-blackness in Brazil. So, real quick story today. Just wanted to get an idea of what you all thought about today's piece. Definitely drop a comment in the comment section. I'm curious to know what you thought about today's article, today's video. Um, like this video, share this video. Click on that notification bell if you've so you'll get a notification of when I put up new videos. And with that said, I'm gonna end this video here and ask that you all come back and check out the next video that I post.